Hello and welcome to the Can I Retire Now podcast with your hosts, Nick Russell and Becky Wagoner. I'm your podcast producer, RJ Malik. Now here's Becky to kick off this edition of the Can I Retire Now podcast.
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Becky.
What are we going to talk about today?
You're asking me.
What exciting topic.
Okay, so let's be fair. Today is not the most exciting topic, but it is a very critical and important financial planning topic to discuss.
Really?
So we're going to do we're going to do the legwork today
Okay.
and talk about something that's not as fun, but incredibly important. So today we're going to talk about disability insurance.
The top of everyone's mind.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So the idea is, what happens if your paycheck were to stop tomorrow? Now, not because you lost your job, or you quit, or you were laid off, but because you were sick or hurt and it impeded your ability to work.
So you're unable to work and earn a paycheck.
Correct.
Okay.
That's when disability insurance hopefully could be there for you.
Okay. And I honestly never considered disability insurance at all until I met you.
Okay.
It just never was on my radar. So let's start from the beginning.
All right.
Disability insurance.
What is disability insurance?
What is it?
Here we go. So disability insurance, the way I think about it is a protection product, insurance product that is insuring your income. If you think about it that way, it's insuring a portion of your income.
That's kind of interesting way to think about it.
Because if you think about life insurance, you're insuring your life, but it's really insuring your beneficiaries, right? It's like the money's there for them.
Oh.
Disability is
Yeah.
there to protect your income or your ability to earn an income, so that if you do get sick or hurt, income is still coming in.
I like that way of looking at it. It
Yeah.
feels more positive.
And these are typically non-work related issues, because a lot of employers are going to have workman's comp and things like that. They do come in a couple different forms: short-term disability, long-term disability. And most people, not most, still about 50%, have some available through their employer.
Mhm.
But it could be one of those, it could be both of those. Coverages, the variety of different things that are covered is,
So like every other kind of insurance,
yeah,
very complicated
yeah,
and not probably user friendly to the
No.
average person. Excellent. This
Yeah.
is probably why I've avoided
yeah.
this learning about this, because as soon as it says insurance, I just kind of glaze over and go, ugh.
Yeah. And so there are a few things you want to know right off the bat.
Okay.
It's the term that lasts. Short term usually is, 0 to 90 days. Long term is usually 90 days or longer.
Okay, so that's the difference. So there's short term and long term.
Yes.
Okay.
And then another big distinguishing factor is something called any occupation or own occupation.
What?
OWN. Yeah. So there's a big insurance company who's got a duck as a mascot.
Okay.
And they say, oh, if you're hurt and sick, you can't work, we pay your bills. They're talking about disability insurance. But they are historically known for, and a lot of group coverages are known as any occupation. That means, let's say I get hurt or sick and I want to make a disability claim. Now, I don't feel like I could be an appropriately good financial advisor, but I could bag groceries at Publix. That means I can do anything. My disability policy could potentially just deny me or not give me covered, not give me my income, because I can then do anything.
So, okay.
Own occupation means I have to be able to do the thing that I've always
Your
done, the way I've
primary.
always done it. Otherwise,
What?
I
They
get covered.
distinguish it
Yes.
that way?
Yeah. And so any occupation is way more popular because the premiums are way cheaper, because they're much more
Yeah.
likely, less
Because they're
likely
going
to
to
pay
be
out.
like, well, you can't be, I don't know, something,
A
a
neurosurgeon.
neurosurgeon, but you can work at Target
Yes.
and they won't pay you. Those are not
Potentially.
equitable.
They're not equitable, which is why any occupation coverage is significantly more cheaper than own occupation. But especially if you're a professional, you have a skill set like a brain surgeon,
Yeah.
Own occupation is literally the only way to go. Like, any occupation would be a waste of money.
Okay. So when I'm shopping for this, those are
Yes.
the kind of the two categories that everything's sorted into is
Yes.
short term and long term.
And then any and own.
Okay.
And then there's a million iterations underneath, but that's kind of the first
Ugh.
filter. Yeah.
This is why I've always glazed over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Insurance,
Yeah. I didn't know this, I think until I even married Nick. You're a licensed insurance agent
Oh yeah, as
or
part of being a financial planner, like we
really?
don't just do investments. We we offer disability coverage for clients and life insurance, and yeah, we have to.
Wow,
It's important.
fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're the right person to talk to about this. All right. So those are the kind of 2, well, not 2, whatever. Those are now
Some
high level,
categories, ways
some
to
categories.
filter it down. Yeah.
All right. See, I'm already getting
I can see you're
overwhelmed.
getting a little flushed,
This is okay, but this is important.
not in a good way.
Um, who
Oh,
who needs disability insurance?
the short answer is most people. So
Most
anybody,
people.
yeah. How about this one for a qualifier? Anybody who relies on their income to pay their bills. I know that sounds like a broad, obvious thing, but let's say someone owns a bunch of real estate and they get so much passive income that their job is like icing on the
Hobby.
cake. Like, and I know,
What a luxury.
I know.
You have a hobby job.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
gonna say, not a lot of people there. So
Okay.
anybody who relies on their job for income, anybody who's self-employed. So self-employed
Yeah.
people like myself don't have group coverage naturally available to them like you would at a big employer.
Mhm.
Um, People with dependents, so spouses, kids, aging parents, people that also rely on that person earning an income. Again, this is insurance that covers your income. So don't think about it. It's like I'm covering something for me. It's what your income does for you.
Okay.
So income earning professionals, we talked about the neurosurgeon, but physicians, attorneys, executives, people who um, have higher lifestyle obligations where,
Mhm.
they have a lot of money going out every month because probably
Yeah.
they have a lot of money coming in. You get disabled, that's such a quick way to bankruptcy. You go right, you don't have
Yeah.
income, how are you going to pay those bills?
Okay.
So people that don't need it, I would say would be like those rare occasions that someone has so much substantial income from something else.
Yeah.
Um, but the number one most obvious people that don't need it, retirees. Once you retire, you do not need disability income. You don't have a job that's earning you income, so you don't need to pay for
Yeah.
insurance.
Okay. So
Things like life insurance and other things carry through, but this is one that you cancel when you retire.
all right. So this is
Yeah.
one of those leading up to retirement. We need to do it right.
Yes.
So, okay.
Think about the periods of time when our income as a family is important. It's way more important now while we're earning
Yeah.
and saving and
Yeah.
preparing for the
And
future.
we have bills.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So why would someone need it? And like when would you use it? Obviously when you don't have your income coming in anymore.
So you don't have your income based on, let's say, a medical condition that prevents you from performing your normal job duties.
Okay. So this is like a normal insurance where the insurance company you would say knock on their door or whatever, like I need my insurance now. And then they get to decide if it's a qualifying need.
Yes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is not I'm sick. That's what health insurance is.
It's not I have the flu.
Correct. This is long-term recovery from an illness, a surgery, an injury. You have some kind of chronic condition that limits your work capacity.
So what's the
Those sorts of
short term though? The short term you said was up to 90 days.
normally to 90 days. So let me share a little. Can I share a little tidbit?
I'd love to hear
Okay.
tidbits. Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know this, but in another world before Becky and I knew each other, I was married once before. And when I worked for big corporate America as a financial advisor before I
Yeah.
owned Sunrise, this is
Mhm.
before Sunrise,
No,
before Becky. I
the
th-
Wayback
oh
Machine.
my God, this is I couldn't even grow a beard. It was a long time ago. This was 2006-ish, 7.
Oh, yeah.
So my second, third year in the business as an advisor, I was married to a different woman. Um, I went on disability. I don't know if you knew
Oh,
this.
I feel like you've mentioned this before in the past when we've discussed disability insurance because I was
Yeah.
like, why do you have that?
I got really sick.
Yeah.
Wasn't injured, but had some kind of illness that I wound up missing work. And I say some illness, I would share it, but no one ever figured out what the problem was.
Okay.
But I was out of work for about 4 months. And
Wow.
so my short-term disability had a 30-day waiting period. So after 30 days,
Mhm.
some have 7, 14, and 30 are the most common. 30-day waiting period. So after 30 days of not going to work, I called my insurance company and I said,
Yeah.
"Hey, I haven't been at work in 30 days. I don't expect to be at work for at least another couple of months.
Mhm.
Um, I need to make a claim." And I did. And
Okay.
they paid me a portion of my income
Yeah.
which at that point in my life was not enough to pay the bills, but provided my wife at the time comfort knowing I was at least bringing in some kind of income
Yeah.
while we were dealing with the stress of medical concerns.
So that was a short term
So that was
because
my short term. So if I was out more than, believe it or not, that plan was short term was 6 months for some reason. If I was out more than 6 months, then what would happen is you essentially make a long-term claim. But if you've already been out for 6 months, it's basically a nuance. They just go, "Cool, we're turning that off, we're turning this on."
oh, so you can have both at the same time?
You would have both at the same time because one stops at a certain point and the other one picks
So
up
it's
from there.
one plan, it's just
It's kinda broken into 2 segments,
how they
yeah.
pay out and it would
It's
it be
sometimes the benefits
I
are
was gonna say, would
different.
they be different payouts
Yeah,
and
in a lot of cases they are. So that's what like a big employer like Disney who's in town. If I remember off the top of my head
yeah.
correctly, I believe they pay like 100% of your income
Mhm.
for short term for like the first 3 months.
Mhm.
But after that, it's 60% of your income
Oh,
till you're Medicare age 65. So the benefits could be different.
okay.
And they do that because let's say a woman has a baby and she's dealing with postpartum issues, you can make a short-term disability claim. Not
Mhm.
as likely to be something she's on a claim for, let's say for 40 years,
Yeah.
for long term, but the short term will come in for that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like a chronic or, long-term illness like
Yeah. Or
cancer
injury,
or
of course.
disability.
Yeah, like an actual injury.
Okay, so it can actually pay out for years?
Yes. And they long term, most coverages pay till either 65 or 67. And then Medicare picks up
But
and
you
all
would
that.
need to have it before the illness
Oh,
occurs.
absolutely.
Oh, so that's
Yeah.
the
So if
catch.
you already have cancer,
You
let's
can't
say,
just
you can't go and get an insurance disability policy. You'll get denied because you have cancer because the odds are you will have some type of long-term concern, medical concern. Now, if you work for a company, just like health insurance, disability doesn't have any underwriting. You could get a group policy
Mhm.
and still have coverage, potentially through your employer, but you'd never be able to go through someone like me as like or an insurance agent. You just wouldn't be able to get it.
All right, so I'm gonna start from the top here. I'm gonna recap just so
Okay,
I'm making sure we're on the
please.
same page before we begin.
Yeah,
Okay, disability insurance is something you get before you have any sort of illness or disability.
correct.
Payout, there's short term, which pays out for a short period of time, and then long term, but so it can be kind of uh, bracketed, if you will, as
Mhm,
you claim it. Okay.
correct.
And there's any occupation in your
Oh, own,
own
own,
occupation,
yeah.
and you get to pick those.
Well, if it's group coverage,
Okay, so let's get into this. What is this?
so
A
I keep
group
calling it group coverage. So if you have a plan that's sponsored by your employer, so you work at a big company
okay.
and you're signing up
Oh,
for
you
open
didn't go
enrollment
shopping for
benefits.
it on your own.
Yeah, no, like, you're choosing health insurance from your employer.
Yeah.
Disabilities on there is usually as well, life group, basic group term,
And
that kind of
so I
stuff.
know women of childbearing age usually get this because some companies
Absolutely should get
don't
it.
pay for maternity leave or sick leave,
Yeah.
especially in the United States.
And most women under the age of 40 are much more likely to use disability coverage than men under 40. And then after 40, it flips. We're more likely to use it because we're stupid and we
Interesting.
don't grow up and we're more likely to injure ourselves, just in
Yeah.
case anybody's wondering.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the truth. All right. So we have employee sponsored plans
correct.
and individual policies. Tell me about the differences.
So employer sponsors, what I call group. It's what's offered by your company. It usually is going to cover 40 to 60% of your income. There may be short, there may be long term, there may be both. It's whatever the company offers.
How much does that normally cost?
Pretty inexpensive, way less than what it would take to get your own policy.
Okay.
It's usually age banded,
Oh.
um, but it could be $20 a pay period. It could be less.
Oh,
I mean,
really
really,
inexpensive.
really affordable.
Okay.
Individual policies, uh, you're going through somebody like me. Now, if you have group coverage,
Mhm.
what we do is we make sure we use the group coverage and then cover from that. So there's no overlap. Like you're not paying for 2 benefits that you're not gonna be able to use. So,
Okay.
like, imagine you could only cover 80% of your income
Mhm.
and your group policy is covering 50. What we do is we go from 51 to 80.
Oh, you can stack them.
We stack it. Yeah. because you don't want to like double pay for the same benefit. You can't make 2 claims for the same thing.
Oh.
So the nice thing about individual coverage, though more expensive, it is portable, meaning you change jobs, it goes with you, you have it forever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of benefits you could add to it, like cost of living adjustment riders, the own occupation.
Mm-hmm.
You can own occupation is much more common in individual policies than it is with group. Group is normally any occupation. Another
Yeah,
reason why
that's
it's so
probably why
cheap.
it's so cheap.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like my policy that I've had for years gives me a pool of future benefit dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So if I make more and more income, that percentage that I can cover becomes more and more. And so I can dip into that
What?
pool at the end
Okay.
of the year and say, ooh, add in more benefit, no underwriting. And there's already pre-discussed like increase in premium that it would take.
So once you're signed up and you get like through another year, they'll cover more of your income,
We get
if
a
you
letter
will.
at the house once a year.
I know. Well, I
And
know.
you go, here, this is for you.
I
And then I look at it
I
and go, yep, I can give them my
do
tax
that.
return and say, oh, I've made more income. I want to cover more. God forbid something were to happen to me. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
This
and
is
that of course is based on age and what you're covering
yeah.
and potentially your health, because it's something you'd have to do underwriting for.
Is this one of those things that you're rewarded for not claiming it another year, or do they get more? Are you more likely to claim it if you haven't in the past? I guess it doesn't matter. Am I overthinking it?
What do you mean claim?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, okay, well, you've been healthy for 20 years, so now we think you're going to be unhealthy. We might charge you more.
I
Overthinking.
think that's just normal. People get older. There's some peaks and valleys, right? Like I said, women are more likely to have claims before 40, but it's still going to be more expensive when you're 50 than when you're 40 because you're older.
And you probably earn more.
Yeah. So you're going to cover more. You're older, so they're going to charge you more just because you're, in theory, more likely to get sick or injured.
All right. So what else can you tell me about disability insurance? Because this is already more than I knew.
I'll give you 2 other, I'll say final thoughts, but other key things.
Yeah.
We have not talked about Social Security disability.
Oh my gosh, is that different?
Yeah. Your mother-in-law, my mother, has been on Social Security disability since before she had me.
How do you get that? Well, I mean,
Wow.
okay. I'm
Wow.
sorry.
Did everybody catch that? Wow, how do I get one of those?
No,
Well,
I'm not like, how do you get? I'm just.
you have to be disabled, Becky.
I understand.
It's not an optimal thing.
Yeah.
So I pick on you, but so Social Security, just like we think of Social Security benefits for income, Social Security disability is disability benefits from the federal government.
So this is like federal government
Subsidized
support
disability
for for disabled people. Okay.
And so there's a lot of good and bad with that system, right?
Yeah.
People are like, woe is me, I'm disabled. This is really meant for you must be unable to perform any substantial gainful activity.
Okay.
So the reason my mom is on Social Security disability is she is blind. She's
I'm aware.
legally blind.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah.
I knew
that was for everybody listening.
Okay, I knew that part. So yes.
Wow. We've been together how long? Now you
I
know your
know.
mother-in-law is blind.
No.
So if you have a health condition, it either needs to be terminal or something that's expected to last 12 months.
Chronic, yeah.
Yeah, like a chronic issue. The approval process for this is insanely slow. I believe the statistics still show that the first 2 times you make a Social Security claim for disability, you are almost exclusively going to be denied.
What?
On average, it takes 3 claims and over 3 years to start receiving benefits.
What?
Unless you lose 2 or more limbs, blind, and there was another one that are like no-brainers, I'll give it to you. I mean, it's pretty it's meant for serious issues.
I'm glad it's there, and I'm not like completely mad at the barriers to entry, if you will, but also if you're chronically ill, that seems like a lot of
There are
work.
people, we have clients that unfortunately have chronic health issues that have grown over the years, and they make claims to Social Security and they receive benefits now.
So in that case, does that pay you equivalent? Like, how does that compare to the coverage available?
Oh, much less.
Much less. So can you get both?
Yes. Now your personal policy, your
Yeah.
individual policy or group policy is likely to coincide with Social Security. So again, you're not going to double up benefits. So if, let's say, Social Security is paying you $2,000 a month and the most benefit you can get is $4,000,
Mm-hmm.
well, then your other coverage will come in and maybe cover as much of the rest. But if
Okay.
it's covering the whole $4,000, your individual policy probably won't pay you anything. So,
Wow.
and in that case, you could probably cancel your policy. But
Okay.
another little quick hitter,
Yeah.
because I think it's important and people confuse them, is we talked about group coverage a lot. When you go to do your open enrollment and benefits, some companies offer something called AD&D. So
What's that?
Apple's, what's D? Delta? So Alpha, Delta, and Delta, AD&D. Are you familiar with this?
No. Does it look like I'm familiar with this? No.
So this is usually the cheapest thing you see on your benefits. It's like 50 cents a pay period or $1.50 a pay period. AD&D stands for accidental death
And dismemberment.
Yeah, there we go.
I'd
You
heard
remember
of it.
You remember this one. So, yeah, you got so excited about
That's the wrong thing to be
dismemberment.
excited
Yeah,
about.
wow, that was
I take it back. Okay.
one
So
less cup of
that's
coffee.
something else. Okay.
Yes. So that is not disability insurance. So accidental death and dismemberment is just literally for death caused by accident, normally while you're on the job, but not always. It does not cover sickness. It does cover if, God forbid, you lose a limb. This was really created back when we were all in like factory jobs
workers.
and people were much more likely to lose limbs. And it gives you a lump sum payout. So believe it or not, you lose an arm working in the factory, they'll write you a check for 25 grand.
All right.
You move on.
And this is something you opt into.
You opt into, but this is not disability insurance. A lot of people, cancer policies are not disability insurance. Those are different things. So if you're going through your benefits at work, make sure you make the distinction.
Nice. Insurance. Clear as mud. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's confusing, but like I said, look, all the planning we do for clients,
Yeah.
it is solely based on them having an income that they can save.
That's true.
They can pay their bills and they can invest the difference. If you don't have an income and you're not insuring it, then there's nothing you can do at that point.
Okay. Would you like some facts about disability
You didn't
insurance?
say fun today. So, okay.
Well, this is it.
I would like some facts.
Thought-provoking fact.
Ooh.
Okay. 1 in 5 Americans think that they're more likely to win the lottery than them being disabled for more than 3 months.
Oh.
That's a fact.
God.
So I think the odds.
I sadly believe that.
Yeah, the odds are actually swapped. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
So that's a fact.
And you mean you're not likely to win the lottery?
No.
Oh, wow.
No. And also, accidents aren't usually what causes the illness. They only account for 10% of claims in disability. Usually it's a long-term illness. So, and it's hard because then if you don't have this insurance, that's when people dip into their investments and savings.
Correct.
To pay their bills. So that's why this is really important.
Yeah, it really could eat away and destroy the financial planning work you've done, which is why I've had a disability insurance policy that I bought myself when I was like 23 or 24.
Yeah, you would have had to been really young.
And then when I left and we started Sunrise, because then I didn't have group coverage, I kept my individual policy and then added another one because now I had more coverage. So I had the need for more coverage.
So that's my fact, and that's all I have to contribute. But you've done the mind share.
But it's lovely. It's lovely you being here.
Thanks.
So in closing, because we covered kind of the highlights here. My thought, if you learned something new today, right? If you're listening, take this information, share it with other people, look at your benefits online. A lot of them are available at your employer online at work. If you have questions about your coverage that you have, employer benefits books, or even the information of like, what is this AD&D? Is this disability insurance?
Yeah.
Just take a screenshot, send us a message, send us an email. We're happy to look at it for you. We're happy to, if it's, a bigger employer, we probably know the answer because we probably work with someone that works there. And if not, we're happy to look at this stuff for you. It's much better to know than to think you have coverage and then all of a sudden something happens. And then now, like you said, you can't get it once you're sick or once you're injured. You have to get it ahead of time.
All right.
So we're here for you. I'm here for you, Becky. Don't worry.
Thanks.
And God forbid something happens to me again in the future. We do have coverage. So you will receive a portion of my income
Okay.
so we could pay the bills and not have to stress and all of that. But knock on wood.
Knock on wood. All right. And that is disability insurance.
Can anybody tell that I told Becky we were going to cover this today and she was like, really, more insurance? Why don't we talk about taxes? So if you have questions, feel free to reach out. We're on social media. Go to the website, sunrisewealthadvisors.com. There's a message box in there. Email the team. We're happy to help. Otherwise, find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, follow, subscribe, YouTube, Spotify,
All the
Apple
usual
Music.
places.
Yeah, all the things. So thank you for listening. Becky, I promise you a more entertaining topic next time.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
Thanks, Nick and Becky, and we're looking forward to your next podcast. And thank you for listening to today's Can I Retire Now podcast. Until our next podcast, for Nick Russell and Becky Wagoner, I'm RJ Malik.